Alright, in this video I'm going to go over my spring TBR. If you want reviews for any of these books I'm about to list, let me know down in the comments and I will get to them as I finish them. Yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking here. First one I want to get to is Carrie by Stephen King. Last year, my family and I, well, some of my family, we read through Pet Sematary. It was good. I really liked it. Want to continue with King. Wasn't really sure where to start, so I figured I would just start going through them in publication order. At least for now, that's the plan. Probably gonna also do the Bachman books as I get to them. Just read through everything he wrote as it was coming out. That's how I like to do series generally. Yeah, that's just how I like to do it. So that's the plan for now. I'm about 40 pages in so far, and it's not grabbing me as much as Pet Sematary was. I mean, once I started reading that book, something about it, I just couldn't put it down. The characters were great. I'm not feeling that so much with this one, Carrie. I'm not too sure why. I don't know if it's, the characters, or I don't know why. It's just told in an interesting way. I'm going to continue it. It's a pretty short book, so I'll finish it. But so far, not grabbing me as much as I thought it was going to. Anyway, yeah, that's it for that. Next one, we got Howling Dark by Christopher Ruocchio. This is some of my all-time favorite art for a book. I don't know, something about it. It's just so badass. I love the colors. I really like just all the Sun Eater covers. They're all just so well done. Even now, I'm just looking at it like, dang. If you know who the artist is on this, let me know down in the comments. I'd like to see some of their other work. Yeah, I'm going to get to Howling Dark by Christopher Ruocchio. I liked the first one, Empire of Silence. I liked The Lesser Devil, the short story in between these two. I will say they're slow reads for me. The way Christopher Ruocchio writes, he just uses weird, obscure, to me, old Roman words that I'm not familiar with. So that's a me problem, not throwing shade at that guy. He's, definitely got a way with words. But yeah, they're slow reads for me because, I just have to stop and look up words pretty constantly. But as the series goes on, if he keeps going back to the same words, that'll probably stop and I'll be able to, increase the speed I'm getting through the books. But at least for now, they're pretty dense and they do take me a while to get through. Howling Dark, I actually started beginning of the year sometime, about halfway through. Almost halfway through, I'd say 35-40% through. I'm liking it so far. One thing, well, I don't want this to turn into a review. The time skips are kind of tough for me. If you watch my Ender's Game review, you know all about that. A lot of time skips in this. Lots of going to sleep and, waiting years and years and years to get to a different planet. Obviously, that's how the travel works in the book, so I get it, but I don't know, something about it, I just don't like it very much. But other than that, really, really liking that one. Yeah, so that is Howling Dark by Christopher Ruocchio. I plan to get to that one this spring as well. Next on the list, Comanche Moon by Larry McMurtry. Lonesome Dove, just one of the all-time greats. Read that probably a couple years ago now. It was incredible. That's just the only way I can describe it. It was incredible. It was a huge, amazing journey. Rest of the series, also good. Liked them. Want to get to Comanche Moon. See the final adventures of Gus and Call. I don't know if I'm ready to say goodbye, but, all good things have to come to an end. So, really excited to get to this. My brother is just in love with this series. Well, a lot of my brothers are in love with this series. So yeah, I am excited to read this. Kind of bittersweet, but it needs to be done. I've put it off for long enough. Got to get to the final adventures of Gus and Call. Okay, that's done. Next on the list, Ruin, book 3 of Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne. I've really liked the first 2 in this series. I've read 1 a year for the last 2 years, so just continuing that trend. Great action, great characters, just really gripping. Interesting world too. I feel like it's different than a lot of the other fantasy I've read. Yeah, just really like this series so far. So excited to continue it. Even though it seems like a bit of a chonker, these are actually, they aren't quick reads, but just the way John Gwynne writes, you know, each chapter is just, they're short and you can just get through them really quick. And each one, you know, they're always changing perspectives. There's always something interesting going on. Yeah, just great reads. Excited to continue. Next on the list, and this is the last one I have on here. We'll see if I can even get to all these. I really only read about 1, maybe 2 books a month. So we'll see if I can get through all those. I should be able to, but you never know. Sometimes I procrastinate and don't end up reading as much as I'd like. So yeah, anyway, getting sidetracked here. Last one on my list is Summer Night by Jim Butcher. I believe this is book 4. Book 4? Let me see. Yeah, this is book 4 of the Dresden Files. These are just fun reads. I don't know how much I can say about it. They're very just cheesy, fun action, at least so far. Everyone tells me the series gets better as it goes on, but I've really liked each one I've read. They're just fun little popcorn reads, you know. They're cheesy, I don't know, the world's interesting. So I'm excited to continue the story. Shockingly good world building. This is just me going into the series, but I just wasn't expecting that. You know, I was expecting something a little more, I don't know, basic would be the word, but no, each book they introduce and have well thought out, at least it seems to me, well thought out, yeah, world building, characters and different, you know, factions and groups that, you know, are thousands of years old, and the history seems really well fleshed out. So really like these. I usually read 1, maybe 2 a year. I have for the last couple of years. So just going to continue that. Yeah. Summer Night by Jim Butcher. That's another one I'll get to. That's all I have on my spring list. Question for you guys. What are you reading and what should I add to my TBR? Of course, it's hundreds of books long at this point, but you know, just want to know if there's anything I'm missing out on that you think I should be checking out. Let me know down in the comments. If you're interested in my thoughts or, you know, me posting a review on any of these books, you can subscribe, and when I post a review, be notified. Another thing, sorry, I'm referencing my notes here. I want to try to get into more historical fiction and maybe some nonfiction. So if you have any recommendations, also let me know. Just on the short list, I want to read Shogun. What's it called? Pillars of the Earth are the 2 I have on my list so far. I'd like to get to those this year. Anything else you'd recommend? Yeah. In nonfiction or historical fiction, definitely let me know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you were entertained. If you have anything you want me to check out or anything you're reading right now that you want to share, drop it down in the comments. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.